Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Alaya and this is Auric Energy Tarot. I'm going to be pulling some cards today on the divine masculine and divine feminine connection. If you're on the twin flame journey, this reading is for you. So I have not been sleeping much at all with the ascension energies that we're going through right now. I've been having a ton of like ringing in the ear, messages coming in the middle of the night, as I know a lot of us have been. And I'm definitely feeling like some strange body symptoms, definitely having like a sacral chakra awakening, if it were. So I woke up at 4 today. It was dark out and I live on the coast. And so I went outside and there were no clouds, which is pretty rare here. There's usually like a pretty good cloud cover, even in the summer in the evenings. And it was completely clear and I was able to see so many stars because we are in a rural area. And it was just very cleansing to me to be able to connect with the night, with nature, with the universe in that way. I felt very held and nestled, despite not really wanting to be awake at that time. It was very comforting feeling. I think in channeling for the masculine, I've been feeling fairly lonely the last maybe 24 hours or so. And it felt like the universe, like the stars were surrounding me, like they were hugging me. And I felt really settled all of a sudden. And it was just so calm and so beautiful. And then I was able to go right into a meditation and listen to some subliminal messages to help clear the anxiety that I was experiencing at the time. There is sort of just a collective feeling of anxiety today, and I'm really picking up on that from the masculine, and I have been feeling it a lot in my own self, although I was able to pretty well clear it this morning just by taking care of myself. And that was the main message that's been coming through for the feminines. It's a day to really just soften and really focus on self-care. And so that's what I've been doing. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner in training. I'm a holistic nutritionist and a chef now, and I'm studying Ayurveda. And so I decided to do a Khichdi cleanse. And that's been feeling really great. And then I always focus on foods that are the color of the chakra that's giving me symptoms because they have the same vibration. So good tip if you want to take care of yourself in a sweet way with food. If you're having symptoms in the sacral chakra, like me, you would eat orange foods, for example. So heart chakra, you would eat green foods, things like that. Multiple chakras, eat the rainbow. It's always good to eat the rainbow anyway. That's my motto. But that's a fun tip for taking care of yourself. And that's always one of my go-tos. If I'm feeling wonky, if my body's feeling off, I focus on being really, really kind to myself in what I eat, what I consume, and also, how I move my body. I tap into what I need. And I'll probably do a HIIT workout this afternoon just to kind of clear some energy quickly and have a nice sweat. It is pretty warm today, actually. It's almost never this warm on the Oregon coast, so it's kind of exciting. It's like 80 degrees here. So I'm going to enjoy that heat and use that as a catalyst to clear energy, right? So I'm going to be getting the joint energies first. That's what I'm pulling right now. I'm using a number of oracle cards and I have a tarot deck here as well. So I will clue you in on that in just a moment. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. This is really exciting. Okay. So far I've pulled 2 animal spirit cards sort of to kind of overarch the energy of the union, right? This is the joint energy. So we have porcupine spirit, time for beginner's mind. And I think that's exactly what we're going through. We're going through a huge death and rebirth cycle. I think we all felt that. We felt ourselves being pulled into that rebirthing canal during the 8/8 portal a couple of days ago. And it's time really to think about our lives, to behave within our lives in a different way, in a new way, and to be in integrity, they're saying. We really want to focus now on manifesting every part of our lives that we want to live with, like think about, and here's the other card, the chameleon spirit. It's perfectly in line with what I was about to say, act as if, right? It's about not just visualizing and thinking about what we want our life to look at. It's actually stepping into our lives now in each moment, in each day, in a way that's loving to ourselves, right? We're all being called to be as deeply loving and to really pay attention to ourselves more than we sometimes allow. A lot of us have been clearing a lot of things from the past. It could be karmic relationships, could be patterns, addictions for some people. Take what resonates for you, right? But we're really being called to take mindfulness to the next level, to stop allowing ourselves to be distracted from that deep self-care that's going to teach us to walk into the new earth as new vibrational people, right? It's really like walk your talk. Like you don't have to, it's great to visualize, right? It's great to see your life how you want it, but it's also great to realize you really are only here and now. And it's great to just walk into your life in the sweetest, most tender, most loving, most honest way possible in each given moment, okay? And then at the core of this reading, there is love, which is really just so beautiful because like I said, I've been feeling like the masculine are in the fray a bit, like they're kind of going back into some of their old patterns. The last few days, they're really clearing a ton. I think a lot of masculines are moving through karmic endings right now. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety there. I've certainly felt that in my body, as I mentioned, for my masculine. And, you know, I'm going through some pretty big clearings too. It's very, very mirrored, right? The closer we get to union, the closer we match each other, okay? And so it's just beautiful to remember that love is the foundation of this relationship. And love is the foundation of how we should be treating ourselves, right? To be able to move forward in life in a way that feels fully like ourselves, right? That's one thing that's been really ticking around in my brain a lot lately is just honoring in each moment, in each circumstance, who I actually am at my core. And all the times I have moments of pause or think I should edit this, or I should not quite share this, or I should, it's like, no, breathe through it. This is who you are. This is how you show up. This is how you walk forward. And then we have the denial card come out in reverse, which is also really super encouraging because we're not in denial anymore about the relationship, the connection. A lot of masculines are fully present in the understanding of who you are, what you are, and that this is not going away and that this is what they want, right? But along with that comes, like I said, a lot of hardship to walk forward in a way that's in full integrity from your heart space, created by you, for you. You have to let go of some things. And sometimes that letting go, despite the fact that we want it, is really, really painful. Like there's just no way around it. So I'm going to go ahead and tap into the masculine's energy now and go ahead and pull some cards around that. I love this new deck. I just got this Prism Oracle deck recently. I just adore it. You can see I'm a fan of the rainbow, but it's just really like simple and clean and modern. Okay, so from the masculine, we have sweetness. So he's feeling, you know, he's in his inner moments and he's probably been awake at night too. I'm just feeling that. He's right there with us. He's getting the messages from the universe too, right? You guys are so in sync. And like I said, the closer to union you get, the more and more mirroring will happen, the more and more similarities will happen too, because you're understanding how to encompass both masculine and feminine within. And he's wanting to be in self-care as well. So they're saying this sweetness is for you, divine feminine, and it's also realizing that he deserves to give that sweetness back to himself. And that is a huge lesson for them. It is a huge accomplishment to see this card come out and to hear that message that they are actually taking their own hearts and their own self-care seriously. If you heard that crashing noise, that's my dog. I have a dog and two cats, and they all are very drawn to me when I do anything energetic. They love the energy. Okay, so I have the chills. The love card came out as well. So despite what you might be getting evidence of on the 3D, these are the core feelings of the masculine, right? So it's love and sweetness. And he's really his daydreams right now. He's thinking about romance. He's thinking about tender moments with you and what he'd like to do with you. And it's just the most delightful feeling I'm getting from these cards, honestly. And then the third card that came out is balance. So these are all extremely positive. So just remember, we're on this elliptical cycle of energy. And though you may be at one end right now feeling his anxiety, feeling his lack of communication, or his, sensing his stress over whatever he's letting go of, there's also the other side of, of the infinity, and that he's feeling all of these amazing feelings toward you, toward your relationship. And that's the catalyst to clear these other things, right? And so it's just remembering that no matter what you're seeing on the 3D, there's also the other end of the spectrum, right? And to keep that solid, because these are three very, very positive cards coming out for the masculine. So I'm going to get a Moon Oracle card and check in with their energy a little bit further. They told me to use this deck today. Let's see. So working through your fears. Okay, so I think that's exactly what's happening. He wants to come forward to you, right? He wants to come forward, express his love, show you his sweetness, show you some romance. But he's in the middle of finding that balance of like, I'm going through all this hard shit. I have all these intense feelings for this person. I'm really scared to just communicate that and admit that. And I'm also scared to have to move through these things that I have to move through in order to be able to be fully expressed, right? So he is doing the work, though. That's the beautiful message. He is doing the work, okay? The good thing about masculines, they are hard workers. They're good at doing the work. And, it takes time for them to move through each lesson and each part of this journey, but they're right there in lockstep with you guys. And I just think that's really exciting. I'm going to get a few more cards for him, and then I'll have him send you a message. Adversity. I accept the challenges. It's the best way to learn, right? So yes, exactly what we were talking about. He is going through some adversity. He is going through some financial disruption, they're saying, for a lot of masculines. He is moving through a lot of change, or he's realizing he has to be the catalyst for a lot of change. And it's feeling heavy. It's feeling like a weight on his shoulders. He feels like he has to take the action to move forward out of a karmic situation and toward the feminine. I think he knows, it's his responsibility to show, right, to show you, the divine feminine, that he's making this progress, but he's stuck in this hardship. And he, I like this because it's like, it's a point, it's a path. It's like there's a way forward. He knows the way forward and he's walking the path, right? He's working through his fears so that he can walk this path and get out of adversity. But he's acknowledging that things feel hard, but he's not running away from it, okay? I'm going to go ahead and get some romance angels. Let's get a message. I'm going to shuffle this and get a message from the masculine to the divine feminine. Oh, masculines, you guys are sweethearts. You guys are such sweethearts. All right, so he's getting let go of control issues. So two things coming through. One of them is that he is in a big period of letting go in his life, right? He's learning to be a little more graceful in the letting go of things that don't serve him. And he's, if he's in a karmic relationship, they're saying the karmic partner is very controlling and they're tied together in a codependent sort of relationship. And so it's sort of like they're showing me like chess, like he's having to have his own form of control to sort of match or beat out her control. Really interesting message coming through, really interesting imagery. But he's strong, he's strong. He's not a pushover. So he's kind of like, it's kind of like a battle, right? But also they're saying he's not wanting to be in that battle anymore. He's not wanting to be in this like sort of gridlock of control, like this showdown with his karmic partner. He wants to go with the flow. He wants to let go. And that's hard for him. right? Because he wants to protect himself and he wants to feel like he's not being bulldozed over by this person. There's financial stuff coming through. There's really a lot coming through with this card. It's almost hard to process. He's been holding on tightly to his source of income. He's been trying so hard to make something work that he feels really apprehensive about letting it go, even though all the signs are pointing to letting it go being the healthiest. Like he can think it through and know he can land on his feet and he can start again if he owns his own business, you know. But there's also like this, oh, I've worked so fucking hard to make this happen. And I just want to keep grinding because I want to prove to myself and to everybody else that I can do this. But he's realizing like he's becoming very unhealthy. And they're saying physically unhealthy because of all the stress that he's holding in his body. And then, you know, it's funny because this was supposed to be a message for the divine feminine. So you could interpret that as like he's encouraging you to let go of control, but that's really not what's coming through for me. It's really like communicating, this is the struggle that I'm going through right now. And I want you to know. I want you to know how hard this all is for me and that I'm working on unclenching it a bit. I'm working on changing the patterning around how I think about business and money and mindset. And I'm getting out of the gridlock, they're saying. I'm getting out of this gridlock and I'm working toward the ability to go with the flow. And they're giving me a lot of like, sort of like hard to breathe. Like there's a lot of anxiety coming through for the masculine and kind of gulping air. So there's like panic attacky, anxiety, just like running, like just trying to keep up with everything. And then he's realizing, God, I just want to let go. I just want to let go. I want to stop all this. I want to stop it all. I just want a clean slate. He's realizing that's the healthy thing to do. But he's like communicating, like, I just want you to know the cycle I've been in, how hard this is for me. You know, this is a hard lesson for me to learn, he's saying. Wow. And then we've got engagement here. And I like the imagery here because it's very sweet and tender. It's very like quiet, like he wants to be with you. And, you know, for some of you that could be an actual like wedding engagement, but really the overall energy I'm getting is he just wants to spend some quiet time with you. Remember, we had that sweetness card. So it's like he just wants some quiet, sweet, tender, you know, just nestled in romantic time. Like there's a book open. It's like he wants to read to you. He wants to write you poetry. He wants to just be with you. He wants to snuggle with you, you know, just be sweet. And you are his solace, divine feminine. You are his safe space, his safe haven. And he feels instantly healthier, calmer, much calmer when you're near. You light him up, you know, you energize him, but you also just make him feel really, really safe. And a common theme with divine masculines is that they're really afraid to be alone. They don't want to be alone. And that's often why they're staying with karmics. But he knows, it's like he knows when he's with you, he feels less alone than he ever has, right? Because it's, you know, you guys are sharing the same frequency, right? But he sometimes has trouble getting out of his mind that like, if he doesn't have this karmic, he's, you know, you're going to somehow abandon him. But anyway, he wants to be in this tender place with you. He's using that as fuel. Like when he's feeling stressed out, they're saying he's going to his imagination and remembering moments of tenderness between you or imagining new ones. And it really is sort of a healing time for him. And he's been sort of using that as one of the main anchors in his life to get him through this really hard time. Wow, that's really so sweet. Oh my God, I'm getting a little bit teary-eyed. All right, I'm going to go ahead and check in with us, the divine feminines. And you could also, of course, read all of this as, you know, if you're working on self-union too, like the energies within, right? Because we have all of it. Ooh, confidence came out. That gave me the chills too. I'm so excited. And we also have some frustration. Interesting. It came out sideways. So I think it's kind of like one of the lessons the feminine's working on, you know, evening out the tendency to feel frustrated when triggers happen. We have isolation and we have surrender. Interesting. All right, so let's start with the confidence card, because that just makes me smile. I mean, that's so cute. Yay, oh, there's my light. Got kind of dark there. I think this is true. Like, they just told me, like, when Stella got her groove back, it's kind of funny to channel old movies like that, but maybe watch that for some inspo. But it's like, you are kind of in this space of empowering yourself, remembering who you are, remembering what you're bringing to the table and how great you are, you know. And they're saying, if you have a karmic partner that's triggering you, or a masculine that's triggering you, or both, right? Sometimes there's input from any number of these people. They're saying that that's a reflection of you that's not nice, right? If someone's coming at you in anger and they're saying things that are hurtful to you, this is kind of a reminder and a confirmation that you are doing this, but a reminder to know who you are. You know who you are, be confident in who you are, and that you're a good person and that you're coming to the table with light. You know, you do have darkness, as does everybody, but as a divine feminine, you are lighter and brighter and more vast and more energized than most people on the planet, to be completely honest. And it's like, just remember that, and remember to, again, like, do your self-care, do your self-love practices, because that increases your confidence. Like, for me lately, I've been putting makeup on every day, and I went through a long period of time, like during COVID and work from home, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I wasn't seeing too many people, and I just stopped wearing makeup, and that felt good for a while. But then I realized, like, it really is just such an easy pick-me-up to put a little tiny bit of makeup on, spend 5 minutes every morning, like just taking care of myself. And then I feel more confident all day. Like, just like little things can help do that. And then we've got 2 gray cards, which I find that sort of, you know, connected up here and into the ether almost. There's isolation. So if you are feeling lonely, like I had kind of picked up on today, the last 24 hours, I've felt a bit lonely, just like feeling my starseed alien vibes, you know, like, who am I on this planet? Kind of like just questioning, seeking, not in a super like negative way or anything, but just kind of feeling a little floaty, a little out there, a little ethereal. Like, I think that's part of ascension too, is we're just sort of like, things just change so quickly, right? And we're processing so much that we feel sometimes isolated, because you can't just like call the average person and be like, hey, guess what? I'm going through all this, because they're going to think you sound nuts, right? So we're working through that. But we're also just really surrendering fully to who we are, to our gifts, and to the downloads that are coming in, right? You know, so many of us are waking up at night with the ears ringing. We're getting messages. We're channeling a lot more even than maybe we used to. It's just sort of constant. It's constant downloads, downloads, downloads. And that's part of why we're here. We're here to download, process, transmute, and transmit these messages. And so it's like, for us, it's important to really fulfill that role now. It's like, if you have gifts, if you have any of the clairs, you're feeling more pulled to really express those right now, because it's like, it's a part of your mission, right? Even if it's not your main like mission work that you associate with in the twin flame journey, it is part of your mission. It is part of how you're built. It's how your DNA is buzzing around, what you're here for. Like, it's all part of that. And so you're feeling like this call to just fully surrender into that, you know, get out of spiritual hiding, you know, get out of trying to hide parts of yourself to make other people comfortable. Like, we're letting go of all that. And that's beautiful energy, because that's empowering, and that is helping us feel more confident. It's like, oh yeah, this is who I am. It feels really good to just be who I am, right? It feels great not to worry about what everyone else thinks and just let my freak flag fly. You feel me? Yeah, so I'm going to get, you know what? I'm going to get some moon cards for the feminine. I'm going to try to mirror the masculine here. Oh, there we go. Okay, what do you need to release? All right, am I right? It's just always, it's nonstop. I'm going to do this again because it makes my screen brighten up. Now they're coming back in with the release control that came over in the masculines. So there is a piece for the feminine too. It's like, How can you let go even more? Like, even when I was pulling cards for myself this morning, I was shuffling and shuffling and the card wasn't coming out. And I just took a deep breath, relaxed my body, and then it came right out. And I was like, that was like a form of control. Like, that was a small form of control where I was tense, anticipating what was going to happen. And it's like, this is the energy we're in. We're not like crazy, controlling, freaky deaky chicks here. We're like kind of burning away the last bits of weirdness, like we're just working on little stuff now. But it's like they're saying the more you can release, the more you can acknowledge ways in which you're trying to control and then let go, little bits of letting go here and here and here and here, the better we'll feel, right, in our bodies, they're saying. And also the easier it will be for your masculine to do his letting go and his work and to feel drawn back to you. So it's like, again, like the beginning of the reading when I was saying like walking your talk, like really walking into your life in every moment in consciousness and from your heart. It's that. It's like these little micro bits of just like allowing of the self. And just, God, that's cool. That's cool energy. Am I right? All right, I'm gonna get some romance angels. Whoa, that big old chunk just came right out from the feminine to the masculine. All right, you deserve love came out. And I think that's something the feminine wants to assure the masculine of. In my voice crack like a teenage boy. That's funny. It's something we want to assure the masculine all the time. And that voice cracking let me know that we feel, like kind of like we're bubbling over to be able to tell them that, but we feel like we also maybe shouldn't, because oftentimes if we get too overzealous with the love, they freak out and run away, right? So I think less and less of that's going to be happening, but we just want so much to tell them that they're loved, that they deserve love. A lot of them have really hard past, really hard childhoods, bad relationships with parents, especially their mother. And so just do it on the inner, do it in your meditation, do it before sleep, do it whenever you feel him pulling at you, whenever you feel his anxiety, send him love and he will feel that, okay? He will feel you. And if you're together or talking, say it, right? You don't have to be afraid at every step. Have a little bit of that courage. If it feels inspired and it's not needy and it's just purely from your heart, go ahead and say that, because they could use a confidence booster right now, right? And it's like, it's not your job, but it's also like, it's a good time to be loving, to be extra loving. Spirit is saying they really could use that. They will lap it up. Like they would really appreciate any kind of gesture that suggests that you feel that they deserve love, that you have love to give. And again, it can't be coming from a needy place. It can't be coming from a self-serving place. And it shouldn't be something that you plan. It should just be something that happens naturally if you feel inspired, because they will enjoy hearing that from you. Wedding came out, but it came out in reverse. I think that's a message loud and clear for those who have masculines with karmic partners, that you're kind of sensing that they're moving through the ending of their relationship. And when I say that, I am fully aware that that could be a very long and drawn out process, right? I feel that coming for a lot of you, but it's also one of those things, there are enough things at play within those relationships that it might take quite some time. There's finances wrapped up in that. There's maybe kids, there's pride, there's other family, and there's just like, it's gonna take a bit for a lot of you, a lot of us. And so it's kind of like, we're acknowledging like, okay, I see what you're doing. I feel the energies of this. And I'm also letting go of a need for it to happen at any specific time. And I'm understanding, right? That's part of that. You deserve love. It's like the feminine saying, I'm understanding that this might take a while. I'm understanding that this is hard, and religious factors came up as well. And this isn't going to apply for everyone in the like exact interpretation that there's religion in the way. They're saying more like it's a commitment thing. Like they are so, well, it's committed. They're committed to being a committed person because they said that they would be. And for a lot of masculines, this karmic relationship was him changing an old pattern of being non-committed, right? Sorry, that came out in a kind of a scrambled way. I'll say it again. For a lot of masculines, their current karmic partner relationship, marriage, was a changing of a pattern for them that felt healthy, okay? A lot of them were promiscuous or unable to commit in their pasts, and they broke that cycle, which is a really big deal, right? It's a really big deal, but they broke that cycle with their current partner. And so them then consciously making the choice to leave that partnership is internalized to them as a failure. It's internalized to them as a breach of the code that they created for themselves, right? And so, of course, we know there's so much more to it, right? Karmic partners are huge lessons for us, and they help us grow. And that, if that applies to you, like, that's important for you as a divine feminine, right? To feel like, you know, your masculine is capable of commitment, right? He is capable of showing up, and he is trustworthy, right? They're saying. And so I guess because this is coming from the feminine to the masculine, it's you acknowledging energetically that you see the work he's done. You see that he wants to be a committed, trustworthy partner, that he wants to keep this growth that he's accomplished, and that you're encouraging him and you're understanding. Like, there's just such a beautiful sense of understanding coming from the divine feminine. And again, my voice is cracking. This happens to me because I've had throat surgery, but it happens more when I'm channeling specific energies. And there's definitely like a big desire to express from the throat chakra, right? They both twins want to express, but the feminine right now is like on the soapbox. Like, I feel like I'm on a mountaintop shouting this message. And if you're a divine masculine and happen to see this, I really hope it's encouraging that your feminine understands what you're going through. She understands your pain, your struggle. She understands it might take a long time. It might take a long time for you to work through these energies. And that she sees you, she sees your growth, she sees your work, and she's encouraged by that because she knows eventually, you know, when you two do come together, that she can count on you. Even if you're not showing her that specifically on the 3D, she understands that in the big picture, these are the energies you're coming as. You know, you're a man, you're a king, right? You're not a boy. You're not doing shady shit anymore. And she sees that. So if you are a masculine, try not to be so scared, okay? Because she understands all of this, and she understands all of it because she is you. She shares your energy. She shares your frequency, and I can guarantee she's observed you more intricately than anybody else on the planet, okay? Just as you do her. Just remember that. Like, the same way you feel drawn to study every little thing about her, she does that for you too, right? And then you guys just know. You just know each other. You know what you're going through. You know your commitments. You know your heart. You know that the other one's trustworthy and has the best intentions, and that you're both good people. Okay, I just feel like I went on a complete tangent, and I don't even know half of what I said. I hope this was helpful for some of you out there. Please like, share, and subscribe. I am a brand new channel, and I would love to get a little family together here. All right, take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.